All right, Falcons Nation, listen up, because what I'm about to tell you is going to blow your mind. We're sitting here in the middle of the season, and while everyone's talking about our record, about our wins, about our playoff push, there's something huge brewing behind the scenes that nobody's talking about. And I've got the inside scoop that's going to make you understand why this organization is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. You see, there are two massive storylines developing right now that could completely reshape this franchise's future. One involves a family reunion that would make Hollywood jealous. The other? A critical decision that could determine whether we're just playoff contenders or legitimate Super Bowl threats this season. And here's the kicker, both of these situations are connected in ways you wouldn't even imagine. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the rest of the NFC South should be terrified of what's coming. But here's the deal, this information is too explosive to keep to yourself. If you're ready to be part of the 1% who truly understands where this franchise is headed, smash that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications. Hit that like button to let me know you're locked in with me. Because trust me, what I'm about to reveal will have you calling your fellow Falcons fans immediately. Don't be the one left in the dark while everyone else is talking about this bombshell tomorrow. Let's build the most informed Falcons community on the internet, starting with you, right now. Rise up and let's get into it. Let's start with the bombshell that has me losing sleep at night, and I mean this in the best way possible. We all know the Falcons don't have a first-round pick in 2026. Yeah, we gave it up in the James Pierce Jr. trade with the Rams. Some people panicked when that happened. Some people said we mortgaged our future. But you know what? Those people don't understand the vision. Because here's what's actually happening. Terry Fontenot and this scouting department have been absolutely nailing late-round picks. Xavier Watts, steal. Billy Bowman Jr., steal. These guys helped us build the #1 ranked pass defense in the league right now. Let that sink in, we have the best pass defense in football. But here's where it gets juicy. There's a cornerback coming out in the 2026 draft who could potentially slide down the board. And this isn't just any cornerback. This is a 20-year-old stud out of Clemson who's getting All-American buzz right now. This kid was named to the All-ACC second team in 2024, and in 2025, he's been absolutely torching offensive coordinators. But here's where it gets insane. Here's where this story goes from "oh, that's cool" to "are you kidding me right now?" This cornerback, his last name is Terrell. Avian Terrell. As in A.J. Terrell's little brother. Can you imagine? The Terrell brothers locking down both sides of the field? We're talking about a family reunion that would make this secondary unstoppable. Now, I know what you're thinking, but we don't have a first-round pick. Exactly. That's why we're praying for a draft day slide. Avian Terrell is currently projected to go in the top 10 to 15. But you know what? Crazy things happen on draft day. Remember when Kyle Pitts was supposed to go top 3 and fell to us at 4? Remember when Bijan Robinson was the steal of the draft? The NFL draft is unpredictable, and if Avian somehow falls to the middle of day 2 where we're picking, Terry Fontenot better be sprinting to that podium. Now, let's be real for a second. There are some concerns. Avian is 5'11", 181 pounds. Some scouts question whether his frame will hold up against bigger NFL receivers. But you know what I say to that? A.J. Terrell isn't the biggest corner either, and he's one of the best in the entire league. The Terrell bloodline has that dog in them. They have those instincts, that fluid movement, that killer mentality that you can't teach. And think about what this would mean for our defense. We already have the #1 pass defense. Mike Hughes has been struggling early in 2025, but A.J. is back from his hamstring injury, and the defense is stabilized. Now imagine adding Avian to that mix. Xavier Watts and Billy Bowman Jr. providing safety help over the top, the Terrell brothers locking down the outside. We have a secondary that quarterbacks would have nightmares about. This is the kind of move that doesn't just make you better for one season. This is dynasty building. This is the kind of move that creates a defensive identity for the next decade. The Falcons nation would be watching two brothers become legends in the same uniform, making plays side by side, building a legacy that will be talked about for generations. So yes, we need Avion Terrell to slide. We need some team to overthink it. We need the football gods to smile on Atlanta one more time and give us this opportunity. Because if it happens, if we somehow land Avion Terrell in the 2026 draft, the rest of the NFL better watch out. But here's the thing, Falcons Nation, and this is where reality smacks us in the face. We can't just dream about next year's draft when we have urgent needs right now. Because while our defense is elite, while our running game is dominant, we have a glaring issue at wide receiver that needs to be addressed immediately. Ray McCloud's return is uncertain. Nobody knows when he's coming back, and that's a problem. Darnell Mooney? He's had inconsistent play and has been dealing with injury issues all season long. And let me tell you something, if we want to make a real playoff run, if we want to compete for a Super Bowl this year, we cannot rely on hope and prayers at the receiver position. The trade deadline is November 4th. That's coming up fast. And Terry Fontenot has a massive decision to make. Do we trade away future assets when we're already missing our 2026 first and fifth round picks? What compensation can we even afford to give up? These are the questions keeping the front office up at night. Now, let's break down the options because this is where it gets complicated. There are multiple paths the Falcons could take, and each one has massive implications for this season and beyond. Here's a wild stat for you. The Falcons came into the season with 4 tight ends on the active roster. And you know what? It wasn't just for show. Atlanta has the second highest 12 personnel usage rate in the league at 47.27%. That's led to the second most productive offense by yardage through 6 weeks. So here's the question, do we even need a new receiver? Is it necessary to give up assets when our entire offensive identity is built around running the football and using multiple tight ends? We're already down a first-round pick in 2026. Do we want to give up even more? Darnell Mooney is going to return soon. And it's not crazy to think he can be better than what we've seen in limited action. Beyond him and Drake London, yeah, the receiver room lacks some athleticism. But Casey Washington and David Sills had key blocks on 2 separate touchdown runs against the Buffalo Bills. They proved they can contribute in this system. Maybe, just maybe, we already have what we need. Maybe this offense is designed to work without a superstar number 2 receiver. Maybe we're overthinking this. Before we go shopping, we have options in-house that we haven't fully explored. I'm talking about Nick Nash, the preseason darling, the 2024 NCAA Triple Crown winner. Fans have been screaming for this kid to get a chance. And you know what? Maybe it's time. Now, I'm not saying we need to draw up 10 targets for Nash or make him the focal point. But can he do the dirty work? Can he execute his blocks? Can he prove he belongs on the field? Because that's what this offense requires. No block, no rock. That was the attitude under TJ Yates, and it's back under this coaching staff. Nash will need to contribute on special teams too. If he can do all the little things right in his first real appearance, maybe the team waits a bit longer before jumping into the trade market. And let's not forget about Chris Blair, who was reliable last year when called upon. Internal solutions could be the answer. Maybe we already have the pieces, we just need to give them the opportunity. Let's be honest, the free agent market is barren right now. There's no treasure trove of talent just waiting for Atlanta to scoop them up. DJ Chark? We already had him in camp and decided other guys were better. Treylon Burks? He just got signed by the Washington Commanders, and even if he was available, he's got major injury baggage. I'm sure your local football sicko will pound the table for some random names, but the reality is none of these free agents are worth the investment. If we're going to upgrade, it's not happening through free agency. This is where things get real interesting. If Atlanta wants a legitimate upgrade, it's coming through a trade. But here's the problem, we don't have much flexibility. The team doesn't have cap space to take on big money now or next year. Yeah, we have future cap space, but we have internal deals that will eat it up. Plus, we're missing our 2026 first and fifth round picks. It's unlikely we send any day 2 picks, so our negotiating power is limited. We also need someone who isn't just a one-year rental. Finding a receiver who checks all these boxes? That's like finding a unicorn. Let's talk about the names being thrown around. Jalen Waddle, he's the high-end option everyone's calling for. But reports say the price is either a first or a second-round pick. We don't have a first. And his contract, even with team options, is hefty. Plus, are you prepared to see him in the blue medical tent for 30% of the game? The injury concerns are real. Jacoby Myers, the Raiders' offseason investments have displaced him, and he offers legitimate value as an edge receiver in this offense. The downside? He needs a new deal after the season as he heads into his age 30 year. Atlanta can't pay more than a 6th-round pick. Will Las Vegas take that? There's no indication they will right now, but things could change. DeAndre Hopkins, yeah, he's a bit long in the tooth. He's a one-year rental. But the elder statesman can still play. Hopkins has caught 5 of 6 contested targets and hasn't dropped a pass. He can still stretch the field, and that's something Michael Penix has needed this season. Could this be the veteran presence that puts us over the top? And here's the painful reality, the receivers who would be perfect fits for us. Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. But come on, are the Saints really going to trade division rivals? It's unlikely. Although, if there were ever a time for the Terry Fontenot-Mickey Loomis connection to pay off, it would be now. So here we are, Falcons Nation. 2 massive storylines. One about building a dynasty through the draft. One about winning right now through trades and roster moves. And you know what the crazy part is? These stories are connected. If we make a big trade now, give up day 2 picks, it affects our ability to grab Avion Terrell or another elite prospect in 2026. If we stand pat, trust our current receivers, we preserve our draft capital for that family reunion secondary. Every decision Fontenot makes has ripple effects. This is what championship organizations do. They think multiple moves ahead. They balance short-term needs with long-term vision. And that's exactly what's happening in Flowery Branch right now. This is the chess match, Falcons Nation. Every move matters. Every decision counts. And over the next few days and weeks, we're going to see exactly what direction this team wants to take. Will we see Nick Nash finally get his shot? Will we see a blockbuster trade that brings in a game-changing receiver? Will we stay patient and trust the process? And most importantly, will we land Avion Terrell in next year's draft and create the most feared secondary in football? These are the questions keeping us on the edge of our seats. This is why being a Falcons fan in 2025 is electric. We're not just watching a season unfold, we're watching the foundation of a dynasty being built right before our eyes. So keep your eyes locked on this channel, because as these stories develop, as these decisions get made, I'm going to be right here breaking it all down for you. The rest of the NFC South better be paying attention, because the Atlanta Falcons are coming, and we're bringing a storm with us. Go Falcons!